Using a 19mm socket, go ahead and remove the lug nuts. Once these are removed, go ahead and pull the wheel off. Okay, after using some rust penetrant on here, we're going to go ahead and use a screwdriver. You can use a punch. And we'll go ahead and work this clip off. All right, so in order to install this flex line, you're going to need some 3/16 brake line. You're going to need 2 additional fittings. You're also going to need a brake line flaring tool that you can do a double flare for brake line. Using a 9/16 socket or wrench, you can go ahead and remove this bolt. Now, brake fluid will leak out of this from the back of the caliper. We were able to go ahead and pinch off one of the brake lines further up that comes down to feed these units. So we'll still lose some fluid. I want to go ahead and remove this completely. So there'll be a bolt, a washer, line will be loose, and then there'll be a washer on the back side of the caliper. We want to go ahead and pop that off as well. Using a 12mm wrench, I'm going to go ahead and remove this line here. I want to unthread that. And just thread it out all the way. And then you can go ahead and remove the brake line from the axle. So the factory brake line appears to be one piece with the hard line to the flex line. The replacement line itself is going to require you to make your own brake line, hence doing the double flare, doing the fitting, and then you're going to hand form this line to run over to the other end of the vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and take your banjo bolt, put on one of the copper crush washers here. You're going to want to go ahead and get this lined up on the caliper itself. Put the copper washer on the other side and get that threaded into the back side of the caliper. And now what we can do is feed the line through and use your factory retainer clip. Get that started. And you can go ahead and tap that on with a small hammer or mallet. Let's go ahead and pop that on there. Now at the start of the new brake line we started putting together, go ahead and get that threaded in. Now we can get a preliminary bends out of this line and start forming this to run to its new destination. All right, now that you have your brake line pre-bent, go ahead and get that nut started, get that threaded in as far as you can. And with that just kind of snugged up, I'm going to go ahead and tighten them up with the wrenches. I'm just going to go ahead and slice this rubber insulator off. I'm going to transfer this over to the new brake line. And just kind of run that line up and around to make sure that there's no friction points. It should be all set. Right. Finally, you want to go ahead and tighten down the block here for the flex line. And now you want to proceed to your brake bleeding process. All right, go ahead and get this wheel mounted up. I'm going to get all these lug nuts started by hand. We're now just going to go ahead and snug these down. All right, so we're going to go ahead and torque these down to 100 foot-pounds.